Uh, so it got passed. It gave us the code also, and also we have output here in the test output. If you go here, index.html, let me right click here, open with web browser. So this is the expected framework which we have and expected output which we have. Okay. So now we'll refine the framework. We'll add a few things like um, loaders will add, step logger will add extend reporter, all those things. Okay. So we gave one test, and if you click on the test, it's a default class, it had got passed. So in order to see the proper reporting, we need extend reporter. That is what we actually prior report, right? So let us start today's class with adding a few concepts, adding a few things to our framework. Okay. First, so if I want to run a test ng file, for example, if I want to run this orderflow.txt, right? So previously what we're doing, let's say I'll just use, let's say from test ng file here, I'll copy this. Let me right click here, open with plain text editor. Let me copy this. So it should be proper how we have written here again. So it is BD suite. Okay, not now. We'll have here. So right click. The destination should always be at the main framework level. Okay. If you guys are not understanding, let me know. Okay. I'm going very slow here. Test ng.xml. Now click on finish. So here test.xml. Right click, open with plain text editor. Okay. Now let me save this. Instead of Cucumber BD framework, it should be simple books API testing. That's it. Or API automation frame, something like that. Okay. Just to show it is working properly. So now we don't need a few things, a number of things to work it on. So I will write proper extend reporting. Okay. So anyhow, like don't worry, I'll share the notes at the end. So don't have to worry on that front for you guys. So what is our test name? So our test name is order flow test. I'll just write it here, order flow test. So that is a test name which we have. Order flow test. And here we want to run this particular thing. So com dot test dot order flow test. Order flow. So you have to be exactly.
Test. Yes, sir. Test, not test.
Sorry, I didn't get test.
No,
Okay,
no, sir.
good.
Test, sir, test.
Order flow test. And that's it. Okay. So we have created test ng. If I right click here, if I do run as test ng suite, it should work. Okay. Let's see whether it works or not. So it is working properly, right?
Yes, sir.
See, we got one pass to status code, everything is there. Now, so we have to start a framework in such a way that everything works according to what we have had. Okay. So did we create config properties? We created payload. We created in utils. We had configurator.java. Okay. Now one more creating thing we'll create. We'll create something called testdata.csv. in the main resources. Maybe here I can create test resources. Ah, config is in the main, so I'll create here itself. Okay, something called test data.csv. Just passing test data here. Click on finish. So we are coming slowly one by one, guys. Okay, you don't have to open it like this. You don't have to open it. So right click, open as a, open with plain text editor. That's it. So if you see my payload, what we have here, okay, let me go to booksflow.com. Books. If you close this, order flow we need, order payload we don't need, update order payload we don't need, validate response, just ng, no need, no need. 1 second. One second. Hi, Guru. Good morning. So we have something called created ID. Okay, let me go down. There was body which we can take. All right. So we have like book ID, customer name, and customer test and all we have passed like this, right? Let's see, say we pass it through a CSV file, right? Let's say let's create a book ID and a customer name, and we can pass a number of data and we can test through it. Okay. Maybe update payload also we can pass. The client payload, it's fine since we are just having this as a test, and email is always a dynamic one because it always creates it with a timestamp. Okay, so let us write something here in the test data.csv. Let me go here. Okay, good. Um, test data, right click, open with plain text editor. Good. Let me write book ID, customer name. Okay, I can write here one test customer, something like that. And also we take update customer as the customer name, right? So let's go here. Okay, I'll just write it here so that we can have a dynamic data, and also in config.properties we are passing a base URL. So in future, if you have projects like if you want to store more than one endpoint or more than one basic URLs, you can add it here. Whatever you feel like user credentials or tokens in future, if you want, you can add. Okay. For example, if you have added a test TCSV file, we should create a utility for that. Okay. Let me close all the things. Okay. Let me put only test data.csv. Okay. Good. So we will create a utility files, CSV reader. If I just go here, right click. If I click in, not a file, but a class. Okay. So guys, you're understanding, right? One by one, slowly I'm coming. Okay. I just ran one of the order flow and then I created test data to CSV. Once I create that, I should be able to read that. Okay. I'll just write CSV reader util. Okay. Create a class. So let me go to csv.util.java. One second. One second. All right. So sorry guys, parallel I'm doing this also, and I'm parallel working on the calls. So I don't know, weirdly they'll keep the calls in the evening. Sorry for that. Okay. So you guys remember the file reader, the buffer writer, if you remember. Okay. Just let me write one method. Let's say public static. If I want to run a loop of variables, I can just write a data type called string here, and let me put it as an array. Just simple read CSV. That's it. Simple like that. And I'll give the file path. The file path will be testdata.csv. Okay. So file path. So list, if it is coming like this, just for it. If you're not getting, we can write it down. Okay. Just write it down. Import java dot util dot stuff. That's it. So read CSV, it should have a return statement because of the list. Okay. We would null for now. All right. Okay. So if you're creating a list, it will define the list. Okay. 1 second. I'll just call you. Yeah, sorry for that, guys. So unexpected meeting came up, so I'll take that. Okay. So you guys are understanding, right? Today I have just created a CSV file. So basically, the use case was to just take the book ID and customer name which we are using from payload. Okay. If you're adding a CSV file, always there should be util to read that. So one more thing as a framework like a step by step procedure. Okay, you take one step and you have to always think of what the next step will be. Okay. If you remember, we used to have like buffered reader, buffered writer. We used to write in the try-catch block. So buffered reader. So you guys remember the difference between the file reader and a file buffered reader? What's the difference? You guys remember?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me
Sir,
the
one
difference.
like word by word, and one more is line by line. It will read.
Yes. So file reader was character by character, right? It
Yeah,
will take
character
a
by character,
huge amount of time, and this one will do line by line. So this
line by
is
line.
far better, okay? But still, it has to take an input of file reader only. So internally, it will use file reader, buffer reader, and it will have the path, okay? So file path, whatever the file path we gave here, we'll add it here only, okay? So okay, let me close. Okay, one more. Okay, so one, two, three openings and three should be closed. Okay, good. See. So if you have an error, just put hover it here and just add it as a hover and add. That's good. And also, okay, we are throws declaration doing. Okay, let's put throws file not exception. We'll have that also. That not the issue. Okay. So since we are reading it as an array one by one, let's put since we are giving us a return type, let's put list string here and let me add this as a data. Let me give this as a new array list. Wait. Array list. Okay. Now we'll go to the same line. We'll read the line by line. So we'll just write it here. String line. So if you don't give, the line will be null for now. This is also fine. Or if you give string null, this is also fine. Both are similar only. If you don't give the default value of the string is null only. Okay. Now we'll use while loop here. While line equal to br dot read line. Then we'll write it the same logic here. Oh, insert. Okay. Not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, string so values. Always remember CSV file what we'll write. It will always be comma separated. Okay, comma plays a major role. So equal to line. Line means it will read the entire line. Dot split. Split functionality should be used. Split of. Okay. So now this line. Wait. One more. Good. So value should be added in a data, which is a list. So data dot add of values. That's it. And always should be a return type. Okay. Once we have a try, there should be a catch, but this is a different try. Okay. But still, we'll add a catch block for here. Okay. Let us add a catch. Exception e dot print stack trace. That's it. And for the return type, we should write this data. So whatever we are reading, we should write it here. So our utility file is there. So whenever we add more values here, we can use this CSV util. So in the previous, and I think in Selenium we have used config.properties, and also in Java we have learned about how to read the data from an Excel. So I thought we'll write something here to match. Okay. And the other thing which we use is step logger. So we have to have a logging. So if you guys remember, So I'll go to Orange HRM, same thing. I think in the tests here you had, right? Yeah. So let me copy the same here. Okay. Right click, open with plain text editor. Okay. So when you're creating a project, the logging is not that much essential, right? So when you're going for a mock, but in a real project, wherever you do, whatever you do, logging is always essential, guys. Don't ever forget that. Okay. So here, since I have not added in test, I'm just adding in the main resource. Okay. Just add in the main resource file log for j2.xml. Okay. Just have a finish. So right click again, open with so if you have the log 42.jxml, what is the next file we should add? What is the next file we should add? Logger file to read this log file. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So if we are adding this, let us add in the util only. com.utils, right click in the class. So the class will be, let's say, logger util. Okay, let me click on finish. So again, logger util will just add a simple log case. Again a simple method. We'll just write public static logger as a data type, get logger. So logger will take a class as an input. Of course, we'll write the class only, right? What are the class name it is, and we'll just write a reference variable CLS. Let me write it here. So now logger is the having an issue here. Wait. Just let me hover it. Okay, let me hover here. To get these suggestions and all, you have to always write. Wait. You have to see here pom.xml. Okay, whether you have added Apache logging. See, you have already added it here, so that is not an issue. So if you remember the logging, so let's say import, so it will come org dot. See, it comes from Apache dot logging log4j dot star, but we don't need dot star. See, get logger has an issue. Okay, let's say add a return statement because always a logger. Now we'll add something called return log manager dot get logger of CLS. Good. Now see again, see what I'm doing today. You just follow it. Okay. First, I added test.csv file. Because I added this, I went to CSV reader. Then I added log4j2xml. Because I have added this, I have to read it also. I have go to logger util.java. Okay. So one more thing, last but not least, we have to write a extend reporting, right? So let me go to utils. Let me add in the utils itself. Extend manager.java. So let me go to new. Let me write class here. Extend manager.java. So till now, any doubts, guys? You guys understanding? Okay. So here, for getting all these suggestions, always go to the pom.xml. Try to see whether you have added event stack. So this is for extend report, guys. Event stack. All the things will come from that only. Okay. First, let me write private static extend reports, and let me take this as extend. Now I have to hover it. Let me, yes, extend reporter, extend reports. reports. Yes, that's it. Gone. So as soon as you over it, you'll get it. Now, so we have to also write public static extend reports as a data type, and we'll write a user defined method called get report. Here we'll define how the report should look like. Okay. See again here we should write a return statement, else we'll get an error. Extend, return extend, but we'll get an error. Okay. First, if report is not there, for example, report is not created here. Okay. Then what I'll do, if extend equal to null, we have to create a reporting. We have to create the reporting. How we'll create? First, we'll write timestamp equal to new wait time, okay, small e stamp, small t, okay, new simple data format. Okay, wait, see, if you go here, it is asking java.lang data format, sorry, date format, not data. Okay, if I just hover it, it should give me something. Okay, java.lang string it is given. No, we don't want java.lang. Okay, wait, what format I need? Year, month, date, and hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, I'll just hover it. Let's see whether it recognizes. Okay, it's not recognizing. No issues. That is imported. Import java dot text dot star. Okay, not dot. It should give simple date form. Good. Okay. Dot format of data. New data. So we have given like this, and it is nothing but a date format. So we're creating an object of date. So this one and all we have discussed in a Selenium session. That's why I'm doing little Java.it. Okay. So any doubts? What we have done till now? CSV reader, test data, log4. Anyhow, we have just copied it. It's the same log4 file. Log util is just getting the class. Form will remove. Any doubts till this point, guys? Any doubts you guys have?
Sir, CSV reader quick recalls.
CSV reader. Okay, go on. What doubt do you have?
Like 10th line, sir. Again, sorry. In first try is there, na, sir? Up to try. I got confused that like least string read CSV. Ninth.
Ninth. Okay, this one.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the method name. This is a data type. So this data type should have a written type, right? See, reading CSV file, I have to store it somewhere. What is exactly purpose of it? So let us go to configurator. Okay. Configurator means it should give an output of this method. For example, get property is a method name. If we give a string as a data type, it should always return a string value, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the purpose of configurator is just read the config.properties. For example, if we give base URI is equal, let's say I gave username as Rajesh, password I gave something, Manju, something like that. Okay. Now I want to read username Rajesh and also password Manju. So if I go to configurator, I have to call this method more than once. I have to give a key. What is the key here? Username is a key.
Username. Correct.
Password is a value. Okay.
Value.
Username is a key. Password is a value. So in configurator, there is an inbuilt method. If you take it from just Java util, by Java itself, we have properties. That's why we create a reference variables of prop, and we'll write this and we'll read the file, and we'll store a get property inbuilt method of this class properties. If you go inside, so this is the class, it has all the things. For the if you're in the free time, you can just go through it. Okay. So let
Yes,
me remove this now. Let us understand what is CSV reader. Always remember, okay, go to TCSV. Before reading util, go to CSV. Now, if you look at the CSV, what do you think? See, how many lines are there?
2 lines.
Two lines. How many words are they? Take this one as a word also. How many
4.
words are there? Four. So 2 lines, 4 words, and it's a CSV file. First, you have to understand CSV file can be read through buffered reader, buffered writer.
Correct.
Okay, and we have to make sure we have to align. This is a key. This is a value. This is a key. This is a value. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If I go to order sorry, order payload.java, this is a key, value, key and value. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like that, we have to make sure where is the okay. Let me close this. Close this. My laptop will not handle that much RAM. Okay. Now, so either we can use map, and then we have to make sure we get the return type of that, and then we have to do some changes in the order payload. Okay, go to order payload and create a map object and call this book ID, book name from the CSV file, or create a simple list. You remember the list, how
Yes,
we'll
sir.
add list? Okay, if you
Yes,
don't
sir.
remember the list, let me go here. List. If I have a string of list, right? If I just add st equal to new array list.
URL
If
list.
I add this, how do I add the values of this st?
Dot add.
st dot add. See, it will take string value. If I just write hi, oh sorry, if I write Pavitra, see, oh sorry, Pavitra, it will take comma. See, st dot add. You're understanding, right?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
but yeah, go on.
No, no, sir. Got it.
See, now my list will be a string, not a string value, because it has two values: string of 0, string of 1, string of 0, string of 1. Okay, that's why not only I took the list, but took the return type of the list of a string array. Okay, I just added this. I have just readed my file. Now, in reading, I can store string values. A split of that I have stored as a string array, and I have just added those values. I'm returning the data.
Okay, sir.
And the method I have given list of string array, that then the return type will be the same.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any more doubts? Good. If you don't have doubts, not an issue at all. Because that's an issue. Sorry. If you don't have doubt, that's an issue. Okay. Okay. Let's go on. Extend manager. Now, I'll explain what exactly each and every scenario is. First, do you see the reporting structure here? No, right? Do you see reports here?
No, sir.
Do you see reports? No. That is the reason why first thing we have to write, if extend equal to null means reporting is not there. Then we have to create a folder, then I have to add a report. Understanding the logic?
Yes, sir. Getting.
Okay, first, what I'm doing here, right click, new folder. Here I'm creating a report folder. Instead of doing this manually, I'm just writing in a code. If the extend itself is not there, extend you just take a reports variable. If you go here, sorry, if you go in this class, it's a class. It has a attached reporter is there. These are all the functions we use in extend. Create test is there. Go down. Okay, go more down, more down. So see, this is method overriding. Sorry, method overloading. Understand? Same method. Gherkin keyword, blah blah blah. See, same method. Understand? You have to understand. Just you see, you have to understand. See, remove test is there. Create test is there. Method overloading. Flush is there. You're getting, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, I wrote the timestamp. Then what I'll write? I want to write the string path. So let me write string report path. So report path that should be here in the project folder. So I'll just write here It should be in the report section slash, just write API report, um, API report, or maybe you can write API underscore extend report concatenate with timestamp. So plus timestamp plus, just write dot html. So you understood the report path. So here reports folder API extend path will come. Timestamp always it will be created uniquely. Dot html. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so inside this report, we have to exactly create a report. For creating a report, we need something called extend Spark reporter. Okay. Now, what exactly is this? Hover it. See, you'll get it here. Let me go inside this class. This is also another class. So here we have logger, we have encoding report name, all the things you can add. Our report name can be API report, or file name can be this. So extend reporter is Spark reporter. All these things in arrays, load JSON config if you want to load, log XML config, flush is there. We had flush in the extent also, but Spark report also has the thing. So Spark reporter means, okay, let me open one reporter. What exactly Spark report means? Reports here, right? Extend reports. Let me open one extend report. Okay, open with. So Spark reporter is this, guys. This is the report. So name, steps, everything. Creation of extent is different. Create test extent. But what exactly happens in the inside, it is extent Spark reporter. Okay. This one, orange HRM, this name, this valid, everything. Okay. Spark report equal to. So we have to create a new class of it. So Spark will become a reference variable. New Spark reporter, and you have to give where exactly that report should generate report path. That's it. Okay. Now, last but not least, only two things we'll do. We'll just add our extent G, our extent G to tell extent dot attach reporter is there, reporter of Spark. Okay, means create a report in this location, then attach means put all the data there only. Okay, before this, I'll just write extent equal to new extent reports. Created an object of it. It will work without this line also, but let us go here. Okay, only 5 lines. Timestamp, report path or report path same, extend Spark reporter, and just few things. That's it. Nothing else I want. And I am returning extend report at the end. So, okay, that's it. Any doubt in the extend report? Very simple. If you want to add more things, we can add at the end. Now, last but not least, I have created token here itself, right? Okay. Before going to the token part, let me go to payloads. Create client payload, right? No, sorry. Order payload. Order payload, I'll give here string book ID. So it has to come from the CSV file. Okay, string customer name, and one is an integer. That's why I'll write integer dot parseInt of book ID. Oh, wait. And customer name will be our customer name only. Okay, the same thing, nothing else will do it here. And our base test, wait, we have an issue here. Okay, see here. So as soon as we change here, we got issue here. So where is the issue? We have to go. Wait. Issue is in this line. Click on here. Now, create order payload has an issue. Now we have to solve this issue. How we'll solve? We'll see. Here we have to make sure we'll get our extend reports, everything will add it here. So we are in a create order. So we'll give book ID. We have to make sure we'll read that. Okay, book ID, customer name. Now here you can see still we have a error here. Now before adding that, after the token, this is the token, right? Let us read the CSV file. Okay, now I'll just write read CSV file. So if I just write it here, list again, string data, sorry, string array data equal to, I have to call this function CSV reader. Okay, let me remove configure this order payload. Okay, client payload we don't need. Remove this order flow and just write it here CSV reader dot read CSV of file path. Now we have to give file path here. If you remember, file path is here. So right click on the test data. Right click on the test data. Go to properties. Just copy this one. Last few things. That's it. Source main test data.csv. If we just copy it here, double quotes. That's it. .csv. Source main result test data.csv. Now, if I get it here, I'll just write, okay, list, hover it, we should have jar util, string result, string book ID equal to data dot get. Now, how will get the book ID here? I need, sorry, not this one. I need book ID as 1. Okay. So this is 1 or 0. This is, if I take this as a index, this is 0th index, this is first index, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I'll just write get of 1, so unified 1, in that first value. See, get of 1 in that first value. So customer name will be get of 1 in that second. Get of 1 of 0 is 1. Get of 1 of 1 is customer. Test customer. Okay. Let me go here, order flow. Let me copy this. So let me paste it here. So customer name will be get of 1 of 1. Okay. So now here we have throws declaration. Okay, let me Just add here, create client source declaration. Now, so this one also we have solved. Last but not least, before running it, we have to make sure we have got the logger ready or not. So we have to add two things here, guys. Okay. First, we'll add a logger file, public static final logger log equal to. Now here it has to be proper logger Java util logging. Okay, maybe I should import that. Okay, let's import that. Import utils. Okay, com.utils.star. We can, if we import it, it should work. Okay, but still you have to import the logger. Okay, we'll create log for only. Good. Equal to, we'll just copy logger util and we'll call this function logger util dot get logger. Get logger of order flow test dot class. Okay, so logger becomes a variable. Now also we have to declare private extend reports, our reporting guys. As simple as that. Extend, just hover to extend reports, event stack should be added, and private extend test. Okay, hover to extend test, it should be added here. So there is nothing called before class here. We have to set up extend reporter. We can also do that in base test.java. We go to base test. If I just add it here also, that will be better. Global setup. Protected static. Extend reports. Extend. So extend reports, I'll just add it here. So in the before class, we can also add this topic. In the setup only, extend equal to extend manager. Go to extend here, extend manager. Copy this extend manager dot get report. So before only I'm adding this here. Okay, extend manager dot get report. Before class, before everything starts. Okay, then in order flow we don't have to do that much. It will actually take it. Okay, now at the rate test is there. So here we'll just write few scenarios only. Test equal to extend dot create test, and I just write simple books API end-to-end test. Okay. So our test will be started here. Everything else should be in the try and catch block. So let me write try. So try, and let me add till the end. Sorry. Let me just type till this point, and after this, catch block. Okay. So catch exception e dot printed stack trace. Good. Semicolon. Now, here we have to add our few scenarios. So I'm going one by one, guys. I know it might sound tough for you, but it's actually very, very easy what I'm trying to do. So here I'll just write log.info. I don't want this much, right? I'll just copy this. I'll just write test started. Okay. Now test.info, I'll just write instead of log.info. So this test.info is nothing but it will add it in the our extend report. So I'll just write starting or end-to-end test. Now here create client is there, no? Once you started creating the client, let me copy the same steps here. Creating API client. So if you remember, to avoid writing twice, I have given Selenium framework, right? So just have a step logger file and do it. So we'll skip that, not an issue. Okay, we'll not go in depth creating API file here. Creating API client. I'll just add the same thing here, creating API client. So wherever if I find system.out.println, no, there we don't have to show the token. So in real life, you'll never show the token. Okay. So we'll store it in a variable and we'll just write, we'll just copy this client successfully created, something like that. Okay. Client successfully created. I'll just have to copy this. Client successfully created. Okay. So this is reading a CSV file. I'll just copy this and the same. Reading through CSV. Just copy this. I'll add it here. Okay. If you want, we can also add this. Okay, what and all we have got. For example, if I write it like this, log.info, book ID, sorry, I'll just have to write like this. Book ID equal to book ID and customer name equal to customer name. So customer name equal to customer. Okay. If you want, we can add it. Okay. So here also we'll write create. So always copy this test.info. So order response, creating an order here. I'll write it here also. creating order, creating order, and also I can log this also, right? Creating order. So wherever system.out.println is there, we have to remove that because we will not try to show that. Okay. Okay. Here it's there. No. Here instead of writing like this, we can just try copy it here. The same patch.code. So always remember, we'll never add system.out.println in a real framework. So I'll just write it here. That's it. Okay. Here also order ID is there. So this also will add. So order created with order ID. Uh, Order created with order ID like this. Okay. So this should be test.info. Should be pass. It should be info. Info in the beginning. Pass at the end. Okay. Customer name. Info pass. Updating order. Updating order. Let me copy this. In the updating order also, we are saving something. Right? Patch status code. Good. We'll search the order here. Next. Search order. Okay, we don't have to spread. Okay, maybe instead of this, I'll just write log info. Okay. So deleted order with order status. Now, this one we can write log.info. Okay. All right. So we have done most of the work. Okay. So if you want to run this, let's hope, fingers crossed, it will create. Okay. First, I can run like this. Order test flow. Right click. Run as test ng test. Let's hope everything it gets. Ran failures. What is the failure? Okay, good. So create client cannot invoke com.test. Okay, because this section is none. Okay, awesome. So maybe we have to write it here also. Good. That was another thing which we have to write before class. So here, before writing the test, let's write before class here. Let's write before class. Public void setup. So before class override, write it here. So let me copy this. Okay, let's run it here. Fingers crossed. Let's see whether it will run properly or not. Run as test in test. Okay, one more failure. Okay, what is the failure now? So expect status 203, 201. So creation of the client failed. Good. So what is the failure? We'll see 1 second. Client not create client payload. Good, good, good. Okay. It is order flow. Good. Expect to be 201. What extra? Good. Okay, let's go here. Setup report. Okay, good. Okay, good, good. Chalo. So maybe the same name might cause an issue. Let's see. Run RAS. Test and test. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Good. It passed. Okay. Let me do right click here. Refresh. Oh, we got logs. App.log. See, all the things are created. Good. But we didn't get a report. Okay. For reporting, there is an issue. What is the thing we didn't do? What's the thing we didn't do, guys? If you remember, after all the thing is done, we have to always write after class. Okay. After class, you have to flush the report. Flush means put the report there itself. Okay. Flush. Hover it. So tear down, let's say. We can write all these things in the base also. Okay. But for your understanding, I'm just writing it here. Extend dot flush. Again, we can write let's say test dot fail. We can write test fail, something like that. Test failed. E dot get message localized, maybe get message. So throw. Okay. Now let me run once again. It should pass now. Run as test ng test. Fingers crossed. Report should be executed. Add here. Good. So let me right click, refresh. Good. It has created. Awesome. Right click here. Open with web browser. Correct, guys. Everything added here. Even the order ID, reading through CSV file. Created yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Everything got created. And we have the logs. 2 times we ran, right? See, 2 times it created. Logs also are there. Tomorrow if we ran, it will be different. See, test a queue, timestamp. Here's a different order ID. This is different order ID. So here it had all the order ID, everything here properly. So book ID equal to 1, customer equal to test customer. Okay, we can put some improvements there. Logged on, right? Wait. Where is the order ID? Read CSV. Read CSV. Yeah, read CSV. Yeah. Sorry, bro. So you're saying something?
No, no, sir. Here, I was.
Okay, no problem. So test. Let me add this also. Okay. So okay. Now there is one more way we can run. Guys, remember how to run? For from MBN I can run. I have to go testing. Sorry, pom.xml. I have to make sure I have to have this. Go to
Plugin.
here. Sorry,
Plugin, no, sir.
I'm not getting. You're saying
No, no,
something?
sir. Plugins.
Yes, plugin. Awesome. See, that's what we need. We need a Maven plugin. So copy this one here from here. Go to simple books, paste it. That's it. Okay. This will build the project. Now you have to open command prompt. Here, I added command prompt CMD here. CMD. Good. Okay. Now I have to go CD. I have to exactly in project folder. I have to go to one of the project folder. Let me take one of the file. Okay. This file only I'll take properties. I have to go till this point. Okay. Copy CD. I have to go to this point. Enter. CLS one code. So MVN clean test. Let's see here whether it will create or not. This one Maven should be installed in your machine. Okay. Expand this. Let me expand it. So it is loading. It is detecting. Creating API client. Test started. Everything is there. Good. Okay. Nice. So now let me refresh it. Close this one. Let me simple books. Right click. Refresh. So there should be one more API report. That's good. Awesome. Right click here. Open with plain text editor. Sorry. I have to open with the browser, right? See, I'm only getting confused. Open with the browser. See, book ID 1, customer name, test customer, order ID, we got everything. So, last but not least, CLS. If you want directly run through a testng file, so there is also one more command which we can use. Okay, I'll just show you that command also so that it will be, you will remember. Okay, MVN test, right here, D, Surefire. So, Surefire is the one which we use here. Okay, Surefire plugin. Copy this Surefire, just add it here, Surefire dot suite. That is our suite, right? TestNG suite. So here, see, if you go to TestNG, always right click, open with test. This is a suite, okay? Suite XML files. I just have to write that. Suite XML files equal to testng.xml. It has, I think it has found. Yes, it is creating the test, creating order, updating order, everything is done. Okay. Right click, Uh, refresh. Okay, wait. Run, guys. Everything good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, any doubts till this point? Any doubts in any one of the file? App log should always let it open. So I gave one assignment, right? Did you guys do it? The REQRS one.
I started, sir, but not.
Sorry,
No, sir. I started, but I didn't complete it.
you didn't
Just that
complete
is
one.
like basic stuff I did, sir. That config reader,
Okay,
config property.
no problem. No problem. See, you guys try to complete it. It will be really, really well.
Sir, you
So,
told to use this API key, right?
so
For
here you don't need an API key in
refresh.
simple code. REQRS needs an API key. So you have to add REQRS API key either in the config properties or you can add it in CSV file. It depends on you how you can read it. Better you put it in the config properties only.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any doubt in this framework, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. So I'll give you the PDF file. Try to practice it today. Okay. So it's very easy, very simple. If you have attended yesterday's class, today's class was yesterday in the sense Friday's class. Today was just a continuation of that, and it's very, very easy to implement. Okay. So com.test, auto flow test. That's it. Okay. Let me stop the recording. Before stopping the recording, uh, how far you have completed, Rajesh? Can you share the screen and all and explain?
Uh, sure, sir. I have one doubt also, and I'll share.
Okay, sure. No problem. I think in the last class we have seen this com.test. If you remember, we just use this function. So
Uh,
what happened? You were sharing
no,
the
sir.
screen?
No, no, sir. You can go on. I'll share later.
No problem. So this was the previously which we had base URI based on the API key. So it will run a second. So it ran past. So REQR is added. Okay. So this one was the okay. Now you can share the screen. So this one was the one which we decided based on the API key. So it comes in the headers.
So I actually got confused using that this one's a
Yeah.
API key.
Yeah.
Actually,
Sure. Sure.
sir, here I have. Let me show you config.properties.
Hmm.
Here I have used API key here, base URI
Oh.
and XAPI
So
key.
yeah, XAPI key. Okay. Correct.
Okay, here I have named it, sir. In Postman, like I
Hmm.
have named it as a REST key.
In Postman you have made that like that, but here it will take.
I didn't run and check, sir. Actually,
Okay.
I thought like I should take like this.
So there are two ways to do it. Either you don't, while committing the code, you just delete the API key, but in a local you can run it, adding an
Okay.
API key. Okay,
Or
from
shall I directly this one also I can take, na, sir? Uh, this value.
yeah, directly you can add. They can add that value directly to the config.properties and run it.
Okay.
Okay. So if you guys
And
have not done, you go on.
one more, sir. Like I got confused. Is like here also we have to use dot API key, na, sir. Rest Azure dot base URL we have to read it, right? From config property. So how we can use the API key? How we can read? I
Yeah,
think
you
it's
can write it. You can write it.
rest Azure dot. I didn't get any with that, sir.
Uh,
I didn't get.
then you just store it in a variable, right? So you don't have to have
Okay.
a rest assured, just write string API key equal to config router. Config. No, no, no. You have to write in a setup.
Okay, okay,
So everything happens before the class. Okay.
okay.
So just write string API key equal to config reader dot get API key of x hyphen API hyphen key.
Okay, string API. Okay. Shall I?
So once you extend the base key, right, base test.
Okay,
So it's a public void setup. So you put API key string API key equal to null in the static as static variable. Then you can add it in the no. Go to ninth line, copy it entire thing. Okay,
yes, sir.
cut it,
Sorry, sir.
cut entire thing. Ah, put it in the ninth line. Add as a static string API equal to null. String API equal to null. Okay, null. Okay, now semicolon. Here now you write API key equal to config reader dot get API key of no not rest assured.
Okay, okay. API key. API key.
API key equal to config reader dot get property of APX hyphen API hyphen key. You can use like that. Whatever it is, you're just saying it as a global variable. You're adding it in the base test. You're reading through it.
Okay, so the property of.
No, not. It should be exactly key value of config properties.
Sorry.
Go to config properties, exactly key value. Whatever the value you have given. That is value. Key is XAPI
API.
hyphen that is key. You have to use exact value of key. So if you go to config reader dot key value, it will give you the value of that particular key. That's it. Semicolon.
I was just checking with like rest assured and why API. I got
So rest
confused.
assured base URI. So that's why if you go to the program, we are not calling specifically base URI.
Correct.
Since you have already given rest assured dot base URI, it understands. So whatever you give in a post getter, it has to append with the base URI. It understands like that.
Oh, okay, okay, sir.
Any more doubts?
Sir, and I need quick listeners, sir. Like I have a confusion here.
Okay, go
Uh,
on.
this one, sir. Like,
What is a listener?
yes, sir.
So you understand, go inside the listener, test listener. It's an interface. Go. No, I test listener. So already implementing, right? So if you go inside listener, it will have unimplemented methods.
Yes,
See,
sir.
it'll have on test start, on test success, etc. etc. So listener, what it does is, so entire test, we're just adding a listener so that what happens on based on this condition. Okay, for example, go to the listener now. See, on test starts, what you have to do. You're combining step logger and also extend test.
Correct.
Understanding?
Yes, sir.
In the current test which I explained, the current framework which I explained in the API, so I was
Yes,
writing test login, test.info,
correct.
log.info.
Yes, sir. Correct.
So here we are combining both the things. What we should do on test success, what we should do on test start, what we should do on test failure, what we should do on finish. So
Correct.
everything we are passing the result. You see, I test result pass a result as a parameter. What exactly is the result? When you have test.pass or test.fail, that is exactly the result that you
Yes.
pass. If you go, you would have called this on test start or extend test in some other file. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you can
Yes.
use. So I have given you different varieties of frameworks, right? So in
Yes.
one of the framework, step logger is there where you have combined. In one of the framework, both the things are separate. So whatever you like, you add it. Okay, no issues at all. If you do more optimization, you're better off with the optimization. If you're not doing optimization, that's all totally fine. As
Mm,
long as everything works, as long as you're convinced each and every flow, what is the step flow, how the flow of data is happening, how the flow of execution is happening, you have to understand that. That's it.
okay, sir. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
let's stop the recording.